Thank you, Marc.
Thank you, Marc.
Which are the main ingredients of your latest musical production? Ceramic Dog, for example, energy, politics, anger sometimes.
Well, I mean, the main ingredient of what this band has always been about is we're doing our very best to rock the house, but sometimes what that takes changes. So, for example, we had a record almost finished in the fall of 2016. We were 3/4 finished with the record. But when Donald Trump was elected, all of a sudden, it's not that we decided just intellectually that we needed to do something, but suddenly it didn't feel right to be complaining so much about my romantic disasters. It seemed like there were some other things that we needed to be dealing with. So we threw out a lot of the other record and started, not exactly from the beginning, but we incorporated a lot of new material that was generated by that experience and, of course, other experiences that came after.
We also had a lot of embarrassing precedents, so this is the question then. Music can be a testimony of our times. Which force does it have? Can it be a political weapon at last?
I think music can be a political, I don't know how effective of a weapon it is. Music and everything else can be political in a number of ways. I mean, one of which is you can say words, angry words that say your political ideas. But as far as being a weapon, like I said, it's not like we sat down and said, how can we create a weapon? But starting in the beginning of 2017, end of 2016, I started playing at a lot of benefits. We played at a benefit after the Women's March in the beginning of 2017, and a lot of other local things in New York. And so we were dealing with what do people need to hear now? What will make people feel, again, what rocks the house now, but what also, what can make us feel good now? And I'd always been interested in political music from the past. I think I became a member when I was 19 years old. I became a member of the IWW, which is an old and mostly out of date. Well, I shouldn't say out of date because some of them are doing very good work, but a mostly anarchist labor union. But I became a member in large part because they had a great songbook. And we covered a song from that, Bread and Roses, although we changed the music completely. So I'd also for years been performing things from the American Civil Rights Movement, and also was interested in music from partigiani and other resistance movements. And I was interested in these because there's a lot of political music now, but a lot of it didn't seem like it was intended for people to sing it together. Whereas these earlier musics, a lot of things for the civil rights movement were things that people sang together to give them courage. And also that people could sing when they marched together, and also that people could sing in jail. So, and the same thing with songs of partigiani, so that's what I was looking for. And some of this material, so I took a lot of things from the past and changed them a lot. And I also wrote some material. I was also trying to deal aesthetically with the idea that when we went on demonstrations, people chant these chants, but they're one sentence long, if that, and they chant them over and over and again. and it gets so boring. So I wish there was a song, you know. I know in Italy it's great, you know, everybody knows Bella Ciao or, you know, certain songs, so.
With the young Philadelphians, you celebrated music in a period maybe not well known here. Which is the spirit of that project?
I grew up playing rock, but when I found my scene that I liked in New York, it was like no wave scene. So I played rock and jazz and been through this downtown scene music. But they say downtown scene, but it's a lot influenced by Ornette Coleman. I love the Primetime Band. It's like it's one of my favorite bands of all time. It's called jazz, but to me it was like really an interaction with disco, with Philadelphia soul music. In the same way that earlier jazz, like Charlie Parker, was an interaction with the pop music of his of the 30s and 40s, and jazz before that was the pop music in many ways of the 20s, you know. I'm very interested in Ornette Coleman's Primetime Band. I'm very interested in Albert Ayler, the music of Albert Ayler.
And you played for several film scores. What is attracting you the most in this kind of project?
Yeah. Well, yes, I've done live performance with silent film scores. I mean, when it comes to film scores, I'm very much a traditionalist, even though when I play a solo guitar score to a film, it doesn't sound very traditional. But, you know, it always amazes me that, people, not exactly all over the world, but for example, in India, there's an independent cinema, and it has its own music history and own history of scoring. And we sense that right away when we see a Bollywood film, that this is not, you know, this is not coming from the same tradition as Hollywood film. But almost everywhere else in the world, people have seen Hollywood film and grown up with them. And so there's this amazing common language that comes from that. I mean, someone who maybe all they listen to in their home is John Coltrane, and someone who all they listen to in their home is hardcore punk, and someone else who all they listen to in their home is country western, they can sit in the theater, and when the violin comes in, they all cry, they all know exactly what it means. This is remarkable. This is culture. The other things are identity. That's culture.
With so many musical streams in your recent past, it's necessary to ask, how can we imagine your future steps? Can you help us?
I'm trying to imagine, you know, it's enough that I can do to imagine tonight's performance, so I have no idea what will happen tomorrow, you know.
April 25th, we had the national celebration of liberation from Nazi here in Italy. Today, 27th, is a real anniversary of liberation of Turin. Maybe not all the Turin people knows about that. You know one of the anthems of this liberation. You quoted Bella Ciao, Goodbye Beautiful. Are you going to play it in tonight's concert? It would be great.
One never knows what's going to happen in our concerts, least of all me, but I'm glad you told me that, and I think the odds are very good. It's a beautiful song, you know, and when I first understood the lyrics, like I say, and when a friend played it for me and explained it to me, I was very moved because, you know, this is an experience. One morning I woke up and found fascists at my door.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Marc. Very kind. Thank you. Thank you.
This is the flower of the partisan. Bella ciao, goodbye, beautiful. This is the flower of the partisan who died for freedom. I had mentioned that we wrote a bunch of political material after the election of Trump, and some of that we wound up performing the Ceramic Dog, but some I also recorded on a record with many different artists that's going to be come out called Songs of Resistance, and it's going to come out on Epitaph Records in Epitaph Records, not sure which one, but in September. And on that record, Tom Waits will be singing Bella Ciao. So, and also a lot of other great artists will be contributing.
I just have to say thank you.
You're welcome. Piacere.